Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, Kung Fu athlete, and dedicated dad. My sincere apologies. I know I had promised you a demo vlog today, but with the recent release of my new single with Pyrodox, Keep On Rockin, I thought it was better to do a producer tutorial momentarily. So don't worry, I'm actually giving you a little bit more time. Demos are gonna be on the next vlog. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now to not miss out.
Up and down, right below. Keep on moving, don't be slow. Up and down.
But first, a shout out to the number 1 and 2 comment on the vlog from last time, the Danik in My Mind vlog. So happy to read all your amazing comments. Happy you liked that vlog. Shout out to the number 2 comment from last week, AMP Techno, and the number 1 comment, DJ Sturstrom. Thank you everyone for dropping your comments, and I am actually dropping a remix contest right now. My website Mixmash launched it today. More info on the end of this vlog. It's at the end of this vlog because maybe after this vlog you've learned some valuable things that you can use in your winning remix. How about that? I say let's go and visit Pyrodox. Okay, so we're out here tucked away into the Dutch landscape. I want to give a shout out to the awesome shows I had the last couple of 2 weeks. Alpha Future People Festival in Russia, where I got to close off the main stage, which was amazing, but very wet. And I can't believe it was dry. It was a sunny day at Creamfields Festival in the UK. Had an amazing time, as usual as well. But yeah, so we're in the Dutch landscape right now. I am excited to take you into the studio right now, into the studio with Pyrodox. All right, I said we were going to be in the studio, but we're actually in his backyard. What's your real name?
Kelvin.
Bowling.
Kelvin Bowling.
Kelvin Bowling.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name Pyrodox?
I got it from a soap bottle. I was looking for a name and I couldn't really do something with my real name. Kelvin Harris already taken and stuff. I was in the shower trying to get some inspiration. And I was just reading the ingredients of the soap bottles, and it was like pyridoxine, something like that was in the shampoo, and I was like, okay, let's cut it up a little bit. And
so if you're watching right now, and if you know what pyridoxine is, make sure to leave it in the comments. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your history. So you're quite young, you're 24 years old, but
24.
You're an incredible producer. That's why we are sitting here right now. This man has been blowing me away for a couple of years now, and so what are your roots?
My roots is guitar music, listening-wise, but dance music-wise, dubstep is my roots. I listened very early on. I was like 13, 14, so it was the early days of dubstep, so like Scream, Banga, all those. Because dubstep is also from the UK, like automatically I came in contact with garage, UK bass, all that good stuff. And expanded to trap a little bit and experimented around, but that's where the dance music comes from. Yeah.
Nice. And so what was your first DAW you started producing in?
FL Studio.
FL Studio.
FL Studio 8, I think.
Are you still in FL?
Yeah, I'm trying a little bit of Ableton, but mainly FL Studio. Yeah.
With how clean his sound sounds, I would have never expected. I thought you were a Logic guy or something.
No, not at all.
That's
no.
incredible. You have like a full sound pack out, right? You did the sounds with native instruments. Yeah. How did you get that going, and how did you hand in your sounds and that sort of thing? I
think the contact take went together when I released Never Let Me Go, I think.
Never let me go.
Then they heard certain sounds that they liked and started contacting me if I wanted to do like sample pack stuff. I think they were pitching people to do that stuff. After a while, sounds came online. And I got my account set up and tried making the first sample packs. Well, there's one out now, but there's one coming out too.
That's incredible. So make sure to check out the sounds by Pyrodox for native instruments. I got to get my free account going on here as well. Yeah, I am actually very curious because these last couple of weeks, you know, I was tweaking our collab, Keep On Rockin'. And I was tweaking, and then I compared it to his version, and I couldn't reach the volume and the clearness in the sounds that he had. And so I typed him an email. I said, like, dude, I just got to hand it back to you because the mastering on this is incredible. And so we are here for my own sake as well, because I actually want to find out the secret today to how Pyrodox mastered Keep On Rockin, and so we'll dive into his humble little studio right now. Okay, it's about to happen, I promise, so stay tuned for some valuable mastering secrets. But first I need to have your attention on my second mix compilation, my Twisted House mix compilation that I did together with 1001 track lists dubset, and it's out right now on Apple Music. A lot of people have asked me why Apple Music, because this is the only platform we get to clear the musical rights to put out a mix compilation like this. It's filled with a lot of awesome bleepy tracks. Keep On Rocking is on there as well. Links down below as well, and we'll keep it rocking in this vlog as well, as we'll finally dive into Pyrodox Studio and we'll get real technical. Tell us your secrets.
My secrets. I can't give anything, but there's a couple of things. Most important, the mixdown. The separate tracks, like the synth, bass, I limit them separately. Like every peak will be less peaky. That will reduce the dynamic of the stems. If that sounds good, you go tweak the levels, so the levels are sounding good. So not too much sub, not too much high frequencies. If that's balanced, you render out a pre-master, like -6, -4 dB. Most effective on a good master is a good mixdown. And what's killing is too much sub. There are many tracks out there with too much sub bass.
Yeah, so a little bit of translation here as well. It's because in the low end frequencies, the frequencies are wide and thick and they take up a lot of volume. So if you lessen that out, you can push the other frequencies more. So do you want to show us on the computer like how you did these things?
So this is the mastering file of Keep On Rocking. As you see, there are many pre-masters.
Okay, so you don't work with a fixed mastering chain, or do you?
No.
Okay, it's always different for you?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because we see these Rocket 5s, KRKs right over here, and I actually always recommend people not to use the KRKs because I think they're a little bit biased and they sound, really good. But what you actually want with your monitors is that they sound flat. But so you do it on here?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you, because I got an email from him at a certain point. I had approved the master. He went back and forth with the Mixmash A&R, and I was good with it. And he said, oh no, let's make it a little bit louder and let's clean it up a little bit more. And I was like, how?
Normally these speakers, if you put them in a big room, all the sub is lost and you tend to add a lot of bass frequencies. In this room, there's quite a lot of sub hearable.
I mean, there's no sub
nothing
under here or anything. Okay.
And it's pretty hard. Normally you don't hear that, but that's a small factor into having a clean mix. So knowing your space, also the speakers, of course, and the way you set them up. But that's only a small bit, of course. For me, there's also a bit of metering. So if I've got an Pro Q.
Nice.
Taking out some peaks.
Look at the peaks there, cutting
some nasty peaks, because the synth is quite heavily on the 2K, 5K frequency. It's all very hard in your ears. So as you can see, it's reducing these peaks. I can take it off to let you hear how it sounds. Every small change makes a big difference in the end.
So what do you have going on here then?
In the second one.
Second one? Oh, that's just
some high frequency reduction,
less. Okay.
Because it's like a thing I do a lot, and my mixes probably got a little bit too much high end. And just for my own sake of feeling, I take a little bit out, just to be sure there's not too much high frequency in the mix.
And since we're here in the kitchen anyway, show us your ozone on there as well.
The big secret.
Because I use ozone 8.
Yeah.
So this looks.
I've got 5. Yeah.
This looks different. Okay.
It's older. It's very much older.
Multi-band limiting right now.
Yes. As you see on the high frequency, it doesn't really compress that much. Sometimes a little peak, then it's hitting. Mostly on band 2 and 3, it's doing the most.
I actually don't use much multi-band compression. How do you decide what kind of compression the band needs?
Input level most of the time. So I check how much it's compressing, I can always turn this one up. It's too much. But then it will do more and also do on the bass and on the high frequencies. Because most of the time, if your mix is clean, it won't really touch those regions.
So you just want it to tickle a bit?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Not too much, because if you want a lot of compression on certain things, you should do it in the mix and not on the master, I think. So it's subtle, but it makes quite a big difference in the end. Then we moved on to the stereo imaging. Not too much going on, but quite important if you're hearing stuff on stereo speakers, which most of the time is the case. You have to have a wide stereo field. The high in this mix is mostly taking up the high, adding 25%, but it's also getting louder if you do that. So that's also a reason why I reduced a little bit high in the previous equalizer. So we made room for a little bit of stereo imaging. This is 12.5%. I like my even numbers.
Nice.
Yeah. So I always like it a little organized. So this is also the frequency that had the synth mainly.
Yeah.
So that had to be.
So it can be nice and wide.
Yeah. This is the biggest region. Nothing didn't touch that because it should sound good as it is. There are very wide sounds going on in here. Mostly in the mix. It's over here because the mid bass is there. We've got some stereo field too. The synth is there, the vocal is there, all in this region. But if you want to add stereo imaging on that region, you should do it on only the bass or only on the synth in the mix down. And I think at the master chain you should leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Then the sub bass.
You even reduce
it. Yeah, because we are using a mid bass too. We have a sub bass, the mid bass, like the grungy sounding bass, and you don't want it in the low region.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, meaning the sausage fattener on the master as well. What's going on?
Yeah, it's a limiter, but I don't use the fatness knob.
Oh.
This is on 0, this is on 0. I use the gain.
Okay, and so this adds a little bit of extra coloring?
It's it's a limiter, so it won't go over 0 dB. Even if you push this one to like 18 or something, it won't go over. These two are my limiters, my final limiters. The ozone is minus 1 dB, so that makes 1 dB room for the sausage fattener, and I like the character and the sound of the sausage fattener limiter, and it's really flat, and if you can even go higher than 1, because minus 1 makes 0 if you add 1 dB.
Yeah. So if you take it off, can we hear the difference?
Yeah, of course. This is with the sausage fattener on.
Keep on rockin', rockin'.
And without.
Whoa, that's a big difference.
Big difference, yeah.
Wow.
So it's not clipping, but it's adding the feeling.
Incredible. So let's talk about your end limiter. Do you actually use that?
Yeah, I use it, but not for limiting. If I play this, you will probably know why. That's the RMS level. Yeah. It's a minus 6. That's always my aim number. Checked out a lot of tracks, and most of the tracks that are like not too hard mastered, but sounding loud, they mostly are like minus 6 RMS.
Okay, so write that down. Minus 6 on the limiter. It's a good thing to aim for.
Yeah.
See, I'm just baffled because I always my viewers know as well. I always compare it to other tracks. Mm-hmm. You do not do any comparison, or you do?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so
in the end,
where did you do that? Okay, he's actually going to compare it with 2 tracks of mine. Which ones those are, make sure to stay tuned. This gives me the chance, though, to talk about my new remix that came out today. It's a remix for Henry Fong, Deorro, featuring Elvis Crespo. The track is called Pica. I gave it that authentic Deorro rework. Make sure to check the link down below. So if this vlog has been very helpful for you thus far, make sure to give me a thumbs up right now, and we'll go back to see how Keep On Rockin' compares to 2 of my other tracks. And so I saw you compared it with my collab with Keanu Silva.
Keanu Silva, yeah. some level difference.
I know. So this is why I'm actually here. There's a lot of level difference. So you just thought, screw it. You know, I'm sounding louder right now, and that's great.
It's not like you don't have to make it like a competing game. Who's got the loudest master, or you know, the loudness war. Everyone tries to master as loud.
I mean, you
possible.
won today, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's not that it has to be louder, but it's always nice if it's loud.
Fascinating. So how do you compare with the Retrovision remix of Rocking with the Best? Because shout out Retrovision, your mouse masters always sound loud.
Yeah, well. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I actually took his track, because the master was very, very loud, but still clean, and also very nicely spread over the stereo field. And that's why I chose also his.
Keep on rockin', rockin'.
Hey, that's close.
Exactly. So those are close.
I think we even have more high frequencies.
We have more high frequency. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this is very fascinating. Thank you so much for this. That's awesome. Let's go back into the garden. I also wanted to talk to you about another thing, and this is something I put on Instagram. I saw you on the DJ booth during Perucaville, and people that know my vlog know how much I hate DJs standing on top of the DJ booth with a mic in their hand doing nothing. You know, maybe entertaining or whatever. And I feel, so he stands on the DJ booth as well, but for a very specific reason. He actually plays the guitar on the booth.
I've started playing the guitar on stage during my sets only for this year, I think. It's recently a new thing for the shows, but it's scary. We had to set up a whole new technical setup. We had to do a laptop, a sound card, cables coming from the guitar and from the sound card to the mixer. And we had to try many things out to make it as quick as possible, because if we have to plug and play, the guitar has to work. Like at our Perucaville gig, you ended doing our collab, and I had to like dance and stuff for the video and enjoy the moment, but also at the same time we had to set up the guitar and make sure it was plugged in correctly and the levels had to be good and all that stuff. So I'm taking on a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. It's another dimension to my show. Yeah.
So I guess this brings your history as a guitarist and DJing together, right?
Exactly.
Great feeling.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
So I'm very happy that he doesn't call himself Gary Guitar now. Shout out Timmy Trumpet on the DJ booth with his trumpet. But I think this is awesome. It's not even a gimmick. This is, this is him and what he does. So if you haven't seen him play the guitar during his DJ sets, make sure to check out his shows. Make sure to check out his socials. Pyrodox, thank you so much for coming into my vlog and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
And so you see how simple it can be finding out methods that will work for you. And by now I've noticed everyone kind of works differently, but the same. Most important for you is to develop your ears, though none of these techniques will matter if you can't hear the difference. But hopefully these pointers will get you into the right direction, and if you appreciated this vlog, make sure to give me a thumbs up right now. Okay, so now we're gonna put you to work. The Keep On Rocking remix contest that launched today. I'm super excited about that. You can download the stems in the link below, and so this is your chance to make an amazing impression. There's big prizes to win, and all the remixes will be judged by their quality, and the biggest prize of them all is a release on my own Mixmash Records label. And I'm hoping you can win, and if you win, maybe I'll play your track at Amsterdam Dance Event, where we'll have the Mixmash Records label party. We just announced 2 new names on the lineup, which is Tom Boudin and Unity. They'll be joining us on the lineup. We have Keanu Silva, DOD, Lady B, Retrovision, and myself there on there already. This is looking like a really big party, and we're gonna add even more names as well. And our back-to-back-to-backs are legendary. We will be celebrating 15 years of Mixmash Records, and so who would you like to see for the back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back? You can also let us know on the Mixmash channels, on my socials as well. We love hearing from you. Get your tickets now, link down below. And did you hit that subscribe button already if you're a young producer? Next time is the demo vlog and I am super excited to discover new young talent. So make sure to submit your demo on my website laidbackluke.com, right there on the demo drop. Make sure to tune back in next time. Until then, L's up, rave safely, and salute.